I was able to organise an interview with local original Adelaide musician Dominic "Catman" Calderisi. Catman has a large social media presence on YouTube and Facebook and is well versed in the Adelaide rock music scene. Catman experienced the youth culture of the late 70s, early 80s Australia and has been writing and performing music for nearly 40 years. Focusing on music, this era of youth, especially in the music subculture, was defined by watching bands, learning the music, and particularly for musos, going and performing locally. For Catman and other musicians, this was their youth culture.
Soon, but I'll just explain this. When I was growing up, they used to make records. They used to make CDs. You'd have to go to a shop to buy music. Today, everything's online, so that has changed. Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, Black Sabbath. From the Beatles upwards, every kid would grab a guitar and try and mimic one of these bands.
With the large drinking culture paired with the thrill of live music, youth would line up to see bands who toured countrywide. Catman states that this has changed drastically.
You see, back in my day, there was more of a drinking culture as well. People would get, they'd get pissed or sloshed, It was really high energy stuff, and people would line up to see bands like Midnight Oil and Cold Chisel and The Angels. Back in my day, we used to have bands. We used to have costumes and people running on and off stage. Bands like Iggy Pop, and people were jumping off stage and moshing and all that type of stuff. And it was exciting to be there. There was an energy about it that was really quite amazing compared to...
When asked about the music industry today, tribute bands were brought up in discussion. Catman also stated, tribute band audiences are trying to relive their youth or the culture they simply never had.
They walk around like zombies, half asleep. They're only hypnotized and don't realize that we're playing the same time.
Yeah, that's a great question. When I wrote I Hate Tribute Bands, it was making a statement, and it was saying that the industry, well, there is no industry. There's no... So when I said I hate tribute bands, I hate the idea that an artist has to copy somebody else in order to get people to his show. Biggest drawing of crowds in any major city now. But if you're in an original band, it's a lot harder,
Bands shape the youth culture of musicians, and this developed who they are. Additionally, this reason may be why tribute bands today are so popular and high demand in the rock music scene. As Catman has had experience in the local music industry, the interview is a credible source, though it's very specific to the youth culture of musicians in the late 70s Australia.